Welcome back to week 14 of the Fantasy Football Formula. This is our DraftKings game by game show where we go through and give you our top 5 favorite plays at each position. And then we build a Millie Maker lineup at the end in hopes to one day all quit our jobs and just do this full time.
Can we change the narrative? We say this every week. It's like, we're going to win. Let's do it.
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Let's not just like throw it into the wind and like hope it lands. Come on.
The half-hearted.
Come on.
The half-hearted.
Let's do it.
We may win.
Well,
we need confidence. Strong, confident.
All right, you bring the confidence, and I'm just trying to.
I'm going to bring the
that
heat.
realistic.
We don't need to be realistic here. We're we're on a hunt for a million.
We're on the hunt for a millie. All right. So as always, starting off at the quarterback position, our favorite expensive guys going down to the cheapies. Who do you guys like at the top end?
Top 3 guys
Jalen
have
Hurts.
matchups.
I think Jalen Hurts is just at this point in time, like he has so much upside to him. I mean, running the ball or passing the ball, regardless of who they're playing, I think he's a very good look every single Sunday main slate if he's on it. I know he's 8,100, and it's hard to if you're stacking him with AJ Brown, like that's a good chunk of your salary. But I mean, there last week it paid off mighty well.
Yeah, I mean, he's on a roll. Last week he had his career high in passing yards. The week before that, his career high in rushing yards. Like the guy's on fire.
He had 150.
And I think if you don't put someone, like at quarterback that's putting up 30 points, you're at a huge disadvantage. That's why I missed the money last week. I picked a terrible quarterback.
Yeah, last week it seemed to be like it was Geno, Burrow, and Hurts were like the guys you wanted last week that took home the money. The most expensive guy I have, like, I'm not actually going to this top range. I just think at the quarterback position, unless these guys are in insane matchups, like Hurts, against the Giants, I don't think that's a great matchup in a divisional game. Could be lower scoring. So the most expensive guy I got is Joe Burrow. Again, going back to him, he's been on many tournament winning lineups throughout this year, has obviously Chase back. So he's my most expensive guy that I'm going towards this week against the Browns, who get crushed on the outside. So
what are you talking about? We get crushed on the outside.
That's like the one place they defend.
That's like the only place that we have
Nick
a lockdown
says that,
defense.
And then you actually go look into it, and they're the best.
I mean,
they're the best against the slot. They're one of the best against the slot, and they get torched on the outside.
I don't know.
I looked into it, and they get wrecked on the outside.
Maybe statistically, when Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome are out, sure, I could see that, and they've been injured quite a bit this year. So I guess statistically that probably makes sense, but I don't know. Burrow only put up 15 points against the Browns the first time.
They always play pretty well.
Yeah, I think Stefanski,
with
for
Watson
whatever
back,
reason, does really well against the Bengals.
With Watson
no
back,
other team. But
I don't necessarily think he's not going to be. He could still be rusty, but let's say he shakes off the rust from last week, and he's just able to at least keep Burrow's foot on the gas throughout this game. I just think this game, like, if you look on this slate, there's not many high totals. There's a lot of low totals. So, like, this is just one game environment that I could see end up turning into a shootout possibly. So, I like Burrow.
To Chase. I mean, I get it. He's got an amazing talents, debatably the best receiving core around him. So it's hard not to like him, especially for 7,000.
Yep. So I'm going to go back to some Burrow this week. What about a bunch of the guys I like are like 6K-ish or less. That's like the rest of my pool.
Yeah. What about Dak this week?
I just don't think Houston can keep it close.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you there.
And Houston actually has been they've been pretty good against the pass. Like, I think Pollard and Zeke could
we'll talk about them here in a minute, but I was just thinking about it. And Deshaun Watson again, maybe a couple sprinkies in there, not too much. I mean, just for his pure talent. And like if he has a good game, like he's gonna have like it's gonna be a lot of points. And
I'm gonna wait to
this
play
is-
Watson against a team that's like just a horrible defense. That's when I'll play.
I don't think we're facing any of those the rest of the year
schedule.
until we play the Saints. I think we only have 5 games left, so that's probably the worst defense we play. No, I'm not
Okay.
kidding. Like Washington's really good against the run, so like we don't match up well against them. We got the Steelers.
we're talking about Watson's matchups though here.
yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying like game script wise, like all right, maybe Watson against
Commanders.
whatever. We'll cover that next week.
Yeah.
3 weeks from now.
But I mean, the one game that everyone's going to talk about this week is Minnesota versus Detroit. Highest total. You got to have some interest in these two guys. Like whether you even think, like I think I have the under on this game, but I still think it could end up being one of the highest scoring games this week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be playing some Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff.
Yeah, it definitely could be a Kirk Cousins type of day, but he's going to be so highly owned. Like him and Jefferson stacks are going to be so popular because, of who they're playing and what the Detroit Lions have allowed in the past. They've been a little bit better. Like they shut down Trevor Lawrence last week. I mean, that's not anything to like, put up in your trophy case, like you shut down Trevor Lawrence. But I mean, they have been, susceptible of their passing defense. So you expect Kirk Cousins to have a good game. And then Jared Goff, like I understand it's a good matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. And like they have a lot of weapons. Like, I just would rather play the weapons than play Jared Goff.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I'm keeping an eye on Christian Dershaw playing too. Because I mean, Hutchinson on the line there, if you don't have your left tackle, could cause some problems.
True. That's very
yeah.
true.
This will be chalky for sure. But so it'll probably be like Burrow, Goff, Cousins, some of the
What do you guys think about the really cheap quarterbacks? I think there's only like 2 maybe bigger names that you could consider for 5,200. Ryan Tannehill against Jacksonville. I mean, we saw Jared Goff put up 40 points against
Burks isn't
them last
even
week.
a play.
He's out for sure
He's
with
probably
that
gonna be-
concussion.
Yeah.
No. All right. Well,
No.
fade that idea. I mean, I'll go to my second player then. Any interest in Russell Wilson at 5,100?
I feel like you almost have to be.
No.
Right? I'm
But
looking at it. I'm like,
Sutton's probably going to be out.
No. Absolutely not.
And Judy, I think.
Stop falling for
injury
it.
reports
It's the
are
same
probably-
every time. It's the same every time. Stop falling.
Yeah, I think you just got to wash your hands of him, Corey.
Ah,
If he's 4K, yeah, we can go back.
he did
I
have
mean,
one
legit,
game.
not
early in the
4.9,
year for
4K
27
flat.
points.
Yeah, I know that he had one game of where he was like.
I mean, this is the perfect game, I will say, for him to be forced to just throw all game. Like they can't.
Yeah.
It's not going to. But now Sutton's out.
Have you been watching him throw all year?
I know, but I'm saying just like a game environment, like he's going to be like there. Won't even be close probably, and they're just going to be forced to pass all game.
I think the Broncos have like one of the worst offensive lines too. I read this week. So
Yeah, he
I don't
plays
love
the
Chris
Chiefs,
Jones
Chiefs D.
rushing him.
What about-
nonstop.
So bad.
Alex, I know you mentioned someone's echoing here. I don't know who it was, but anyway, the Gino in that Carolina Seattle game.
Yeah, it's gross. It's really gross, but you can get a cheap stack in Sam Darnold, DJ Moore, some decent run backs in that game too. Obviously, DK, Lockett, even Kenny Walker I like this week too. So
he's out, I think.
I think he's gonna be out. Yeah.
oh, is he?
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I'm not sure. It's not 100%.
Oh yeah, he's got that calf or that foot or something, ankle. But yeah, Sam Darnold, I don't think is out of play. Seattle's defense has been playing better lately, and they're obviously much better at home. But I don't hate it on a slate that is either going to be really chalky or has a ton of games that I don't see a ton of points in.
What about Gino for?
I do
mean,
like Gino. Yeah.
He's a little bit more than Darnold, but like he's just been on fire this year.
Yeah. I think Carolina's who's that corner in Carolina?
Yeah, it's
Horn.
JC Horn.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been playing really well. So I think you got to pick. If you pick Geno, I do think he's got a chance because it's the Panthers. But you gotta see who Horn's going to be on mostly.
Yeah.
I think I if I was gonna play that, I think I like Sam Darnold. As painful as that says, that's like me saying that, but like,
Gross. It's
but
gross.
but I mean, he is $1,000 cheaper than Geno, so it allows you to move up other places. I don't mind it.
What about the guy that has broke slates before when he's coming to back up?
Huntley.
Yeah. He runs the ball as much as like any other,
Yeah, he does.
like Hurts.
The
Fields.
offense doesn't really change.
No, they run the exact same offense, and he actually
Yeah.
targets Mark Andrews more.
I don't know. I don't like the Pittsburgh matchup. Their defense has been fucking wrecking.
Not against the pass, though.
True. But I don't know. It's one of those
Use the ball 30.
divisional games that it always feels like is it low scoring, ugly.
I like Huntley. He went against. I know he didn't throw a touchdown, right? He threw a pick against the Broncos, who have been one of the best Ds. He only had 5 incompletions against that defense. He ran the ball for 10 times for 41 yards and had a touchdown. You have to imagine. So the Steelers are bad against the pass. You know exactly who to stack them with. You're doing it with Mark Andrews. And then they're going to bring a lot of pressure. So he's going to be forced to run. Like he has I think he has a really good floor here and a crazy good ceiling.
I actually like that call, PB, especially because Mark Andrews is at 6,500.
Yeah, he's like the cheapest.
Yeah, he's for that price, he's easily the best option to put up potentially 30 points.
Yeah, it's just like I think I don't know. I don't know if he's going to end up getting a little popular, and you can run it back. Like Ravens haven't been super good against the pass, so I think you just run it back with Pickens or Deontay Johnson, and it's Huntley, Andrews, and then Deontay or Pickens on the other side. But if Lawrence didn't have this issue, I'd like him against the Titans, but I don't know how healthy he is. But all right, ready to go to running back?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. Who do you guys like at the top?
Tony P.
At the top? I'm talking about the top.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm putting Tony Pollard in 100% of my lineups this week, though. He's like my player lock of the week.
Player lock of the week from Nick.
Yeah, I mean,
EP.
He's
3 out of the past 4 weeks, he's put up 25 plus points. We talked last week. The Texans are averaging like 32 points to opposing running backs in fantasy. So it's just like the ultimate setup. I think this is a game where they sit Zeke for the playoff runs. So like Tony Pollard, gets his moment to shine in one of these off games where like Dallas doesn't really care because it's not like it's going to be a close game. So
I mean, they shut down.
He's a smash spot for me.
Texans shut down Nick Chubb last week. What was that about? I had him in so many of my lineups.
I think that just had more to do with like the lack of rhythm on the Browns offense than anything. It was just like really predictable. Like it was either Deshaun Watson was in shotgun or they were like, he was under center and ran it like probably 95% of the time. There wasn't many play actions or anything. So I don't know.
All right. Well, I mean, Pollard, great play this week, I'd say. And this is the first time I'll even say that I think Zeke is even playable at his price tag. I'll have way more Pollard than Zeke, but yeah, since we're talking about that, like those guys. But all right, at the top, you got guys.
Henry.
You think D. Henry? I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just mentioned Burks probably being out. Jacksonville, not a great defense, not great against the run. They're going to have to score somehow. And I think it comes through King Henry. I think it might be a multi-touchdown day for big old Derrick Henry, Tractor Cito.
What is his plus two touchdowns? But what, like plus 450 probably?
I was gonna say like
So
plus
stupid.
300.
Yeah,
Something
on there.
ridiculous.
He hasn't scored in 2 weeks. It's very rare for he's gone for a combined 68 yards in the last 2 games.
He's due.
He had 80 receiving yards.
Last third of the season is when he turns
Yeah.
it on.
Yep, that is very
Yeah,
true.
I like Derrick Henry. I will have
Highest owned running back, I do think will be Henry.
yeah,
Really?
probably.
Or
I guess
one of the top two,
Yeah.
2 or 3. He'll be the pay up guy.
Mixon too.
yeah, Mixon's
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love Mixon.
makes
Target
it
the
against.
Browns run game.
Yep.
Do you think Piron's I Mixon I have in my pool, but do you think Pirine, with how he's played lately, has earned himself enough of a role? Like he even had an established role with Mixon in.
Yeah. I don't know, but Mixon also put up a game with like 4
Yeah, I
touchdowns
know.
earlier this year. So
I'm just saying, like, the playoffs are coming up. Who knows what they're like? All right,
they got to win now, though. Like this isn't
yeah,
an easy matchup. I think the Browns have. I would love to see the record against the Browns. Like
Burrow is 0-3 straight
yeah,
up.
like I don't think
He's
that
getting a
Burrow's
dub
beat the
here.
Browns yet. Probably, but I think
What about-
Mixon's in a good spot. Pirine has done well, though. I'll give you that.
yeah, but he's not 6,300. I'm
No.
not.
That's too much. That's way
Yeah.
too much for a
No,
back.
I'm not playing Piron. I was just saying
No.
that to get off Mixon.
Yeah.
What about? So I do think Henry's the best just points play at the high end, but then you have Chubb for 100 less. I actually kind of like what we talked about, like, Kirk Cousins being really popular. Well, Dalvin Cook against a horrible Detroit defense as some leverage is in that 7.3K is pretty juicy.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure.
And he did well last week. I mean, he got, I wouldn't say well, like he didn't pay off his price tag, but 20 attempts, 86 yards and a touchdown. I mean, it's okay. I mean, that was against the Jets, who have arguably one of the better defenses in the NFL. Now you get to play the Lions. Like I like it, but that's
Good
not
spot.
who I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely up there for me. Just kind of like in that mid to upper range tier after Henry. CMC against Tampa, I'm not like, I mean, he should get peppered with targets, but like Tampa's run D is still very good. Saquon against Philly, they're getting these good run stoppers back. Like Jordan Davis should play even more this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he popped up on the injury report with a neck injury, so I'm probably off Saquon.
Yeah. Nope.
Chubb
After I saw what
against,
they did to Henry, I'm not playing anyone against the Eagles rushing right now.
Yeah.
Chubb against the Bengals.
I think there's good value at running back this week, though. So that's kind of
yeah,
where
there
I'm
is.
finding
So
a
let's
little
get
bit
to
cheaper
that.
plays.
Let's get to that.
I mean, I guess I'll start. I outside of Tony Pollard, but in the similar price range, DeAndre Swift. We saw him healthy for the first time last week for $5,800. I think this is an absolute steal. If you're playing double ups, if you're playing tournaments, I think he probably is a little bit higher owned there. But for double ups, I think this is one of your best values per points per dollar. 20 plus points last week, and now he's going up against a not superior Vikings run defense.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're fine, but I don't know. I think he's going to succeed. If it's going to be a shootout, I think they're going to use him a lot. And they started using him a little bit more in the red zone. Had that touchdown last week, so I love his trajectory here.
They're saying he's like finally
Yeah.
fully healthy too.
That's what the last week I called out Swift. I said they were saying he was healthy. And he ended up being a very good play last week against, I forget who they played last. Was it the Lions?
They played
the
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they said last week that he was full go, and he I mean, Jamal had like 11 attempts still, and I think still vultured a touchdown. But we're seeing Swift finally become like, if he's getting 15 attempts and like 6 targets. Yeah, I mean, at this price, he's a great play. He'll definitely be one of the highest owned running backs on the slate. Do you guys like anyone cheaper than that?
I mean, again, maybe you can't really go back to Pacheco playing against Denver.
Yeah, they're a run funnel though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could play. I don't want to touch. I don't know who the Jets are playing at running back. It's too confusing over there.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I mean,
Go
Travis
Foreman?
Homer, maybe.
Foreman, Seattle against Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Foreman's in play for sure. But I was going down even further to if Homer is healthy, like he'd probably be, kind of, especially if Walker doesn't play. I mean, I don't know if he has like that home run capability of, popping off for like 40 points, but for starting running back at 5Ks, you always have to look at those guys.
Yeah, Latavius Murray is my last guy. 15 to 28 touches every single game. He's too cheap. Like I know he sucks. He's on Denver's offense, but if he gets 6 targets and 7 targets and less rush attempts, that's good for PPR. So at 5.2, he needs 18 plus points to get towards tournament winning upside.
Yeah, I mean,
you need a touchdown and yeah, you need those targets, but
yeah,
against the Chiefs, I'm just worried a little bit about Mike Boone coming back, but
what about Marlon Mack?
no, not worried
Mike
about
Boone.
Mike Boone's more of the pass catcher. That's why I'm slightly worried. But anyway.
All right.
Receiver.
Yes. I mean,
always a big player pool here. Hard to narrow down. All right. At the top end, I think everyone knows the guy.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be Jay Jets. I mean, he's due for a big game. He had one against New England, but I'm looking for like that 10 target type of deal or 10 receptions, 150 yards and like 2 touchdowns type of game.
The Lions also shut him down in the first time they played, so he's coming out angry for sure.
Yeah, and who was it Sauce or what was the Jets?
Yeah, DJ Reed.
Yeah, talking shit, saying that he couldn't stop him, like
the safety help.
Yeah, come on, it's Jay Jets, man. Don't piss the man off. Like, you're gonna have to write an apology letter to the Lions secondary after that because he's so angry right now.
Yeah, he's like, obviously, he's got to do a ton to pay off. Over 100 yards. He has to score once or twice to get in that tournament winner. But yeah,
he's the guy to do it, and this is the game to do it.
Yeah,
Corey, but you like Hurts, like he's AJ Brown's getting real expensive there.
No, I know. I mean, as well as he should be, but
yeah,
the thing with AJ Brown is it's boom or bust for him. He's not like, I mean, he last week, he had the 2 touchdowns, like the 8 yard or the 8 receptions. Yeah, I think if you're gonna play it, you go down to Devonta Smith. If you are gonna play, I mean, Devonta Smith still got 8 targets, he had 100 yards and a touchdown. So like, I mean, if Devonta Smith was on another team, like you're looking at him as like a the number 1 receiver for that team. So I if I'm playing Hurts, I'm gonna fade AJ Brown. I'm gonna go down to Devonta Smith, who I like because
you want to know who my favorite guy is this week?
Well, yes, PB. We are on a show that we talk about our favorite plays, so I would like to know.
You could probably take a guess.
Oh, don't tell us. Don't tell us.
You could take a guess.
Jamar Chase.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tournament player of the week for me. Just for me, it's really leverage off of a popular Amon-Ra. So Amon-Ra, most highest owned receiver this week. He's been the highest owned receiver he's paid it off too. He's been a great play many weeks this year. Like he's still too cheap at 7.8. He's still too cheap. He's gone for 37, 30 in the last 2 games, scored over 100 yards in both. Now he gets to go up against Minnesota, who isn't. Here's the thing though. This is how I'm playing that Minnesota-Detroit game. Minnesota has been better against slot receivers, getting wrecked on the outside. So I'm getting leverage off of Amon-Ra directly with Jamar Chase at the same price. And then I'll pay down and get cheaper Detroit guys on the.
You said you like Chark a lot this week, right?
Love Chark. He almost was in the tournament. He could have been a tournament winner last week. He almost had 100. He went like 5 for 98 yards or something. If you had 2 more yards, you'd have gotten that bonus. Been a tournament winning receiver. He still was a great play last week, but he's in an even better spot against the Vikings this week.
Are you worried about the emergence and probably more snaps to Jameson Williams at all?
Yeah, I mean, he'll get more. I mean, he played, I think, like at 5 snaps or something last week.
Yeah,
something
I
like
think
that.
they're just, easing him in.
No, Jamison Williams was the full go here. Yeah, he would be like my favorite play of the slate. But
Do you think they let him like run loose here? I mean,
No.
Not yet.
it was his first
No.
NFL game. They eased him
I do
back
not
in. He
think
got
they
a
go
couple
from
snaps.
5 snaps to let him run loose. No.
He was on like punt coverage most of that game.
Yeah.
Like,
Was
really-
They were running him out on punt coverage.
I'm pretty sure,
What
yeah.
the fuck are they doing?
Yeah,
What is
that was
that?
your first round pick, and you're putting him in punt coverage.
And he's coming off an
God.
ACL injury.
MCDC.
What the
MCDC.
hell?
I mean, I would have been so happy if like he was like a sneaky, like they're gonna make him full go, but people are hesitant to play him because
Yeah,
the Vikings just there isn't a team in the league they'd have no speed, and Jamison Williams would run all over them. That's why I love Chark this week. And as crazy as it sounds, I will probably Amon-Ra, love the receiver. I still think he's underpriced. Double up, you're playing him in every double up lineup, but I don't think I'm going to play him at all in tournaments.
I haven't really actually played him that much in tournaments. I mean, I
have been, but I'm going against him this week.
Not as much as I should be, but yeah, I think it's if you go down or if you just go up $100 more and get Chase, who again probably gonna be
Perfect
overlooked
leverage.
because people who don't play DraftKings enough or newcomers, they see the 30 tag and it's like green. It's like, oh, let me play Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then Chase just gets overlooked. I do like Chase, but I'm going back down. I'm like looking. It's like Jay Jets is I think almost going to be in a lot of my lineups. I mean I know it's a high price, but we talked about running backs. You can get cheaper with running backs. I like Devonta Smith. I know that I feel like he's going to be very low owned this week against the Giants, which he should be because the Giants have a pretty good pass defense, and it's a divisional game. Usually those are lower scoring, but you saw it last week. I mean, Hurts spreads the ball out, and even with AJ Brown getting 2 touchdowns, like him and Smith were both targeted 11 or 12 times. Like without Dallas Goedert there, like they're eating up everything. So I like Smith. I really do.
Yeah. Smith definitely will be low owned. Solid play if you're playing him with Hurts.
I think Christian Kirk has a really good matchup this week.
Yeah, I always like Kirk.
Yeah.
I think he was in when I made my list here. I think Kirk was on it.
Yeah.
PB's tried to trade for Christian Kirk all season. I've had him on my fantasy squad. Every Monday or every Tuesday morning, I'd wake up to about 13 text messages with different trade packages for him.
Yeah.
No surprise there. I mean, he's good, but I think you're
Yeah.
overhyping the Trevor Lawrence train a little, but
Well,
I like him. He's good. He's
he
the
gets-
focus point of that receiving core.
Yeah.
against Tennessee.
Yeah. The Titans corners are not good.
That's why I like
There's one
Lawrence
really
if he's
good
healthy.
one. Is it Caleb Farley?
He's out. He's
Yeah.
it's they have
There's
other
one more
guys
guy who I forget his name. I was watching. I was like, yeah, he's pretty good.
Do we have any
Godwin.
Godwin?
The 49ers are really bad against the slot. And Godwin, who we've seen Brady likes to throw checkdowns and just over the middle, like that's just what I think Godwin, I think that's probably a lower scoring game, but I could see as a one-off play like Godwin going for
I
over
like Godwin this week,
scoring.
If you could
especially
just connect
because I think Tom Brady. We didn't talk about this. Could go off because Antonio Brown posted that picture with his
it's a
ex-wife.
fake picture.
It's not fake. It was from his Snapchat. I followed.
Oh,
him.
you're right. Anything that comes on there, it's not.
Me and AB are boys.
Dude,
We flew
Mike
to
Evans
Dubai
can catch
together on the same plane.
Mike Evans is cheap. Yeah, like he can.
If
break
he can
the
catch
slate.
one of the long balls that
Yeah,
he gets targeted
easily.
with,
Yeah.
like he had one against the Saints, and the Saints guy, I had to take him down, or else it would have been, a huge touchdown. But I think below there, Jerry Judy's interesting,
especially if Sutton's out. Judy is like that's an incredible play. I think at 5-4.
Yeah,
Especially if people are scared off him. Like I'll play a ton of Judy.
yeah. Pickens for the run back we talked about. He's 5.
I like Deontay a little bit more than Pickens.
where's-
but
I like
Where's-
Demarcus Robinson from that game, especially if you're running a Hundley
Hundley.
stack. I think he had like 8 targets last week, but he's put up a couple 20-point games and for
He's only
4K.
4K, dude.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite.
The
4K
cheap
play.
guys. What about okay? Well, let's go to under 4K guys because we were talking about Chase, Jefferson. Like you might have to go to the dumpster bin. Last week, Corey Davis. You know, we played him in our lineup against the Vikings. Again, the Vikings, and he got 10 targets. So what guy like under 4K here do you guys like? I actually have 5 guys under 4K.
You
have
5 guys under 4K.
Yeah, let's hear it. I have
Marvin,
one, so
Marvin Jones against Tennessee. Well, 4. KJ Osborne because the Lions defense is terrible and I just like that game. Kendall Hinton if Sutton's out is 3.4K and he's going to be on the field every snap. And Elijah Moore because you know Mike White likes to target Elijah Moore.
What is Elijah
wait,
Moore?
what happened to your boy Corey Davis? Was that
He got 10 targets against the Vikings and he's had 85 yards.
against
I'm
Buffalo?
just messing with you.
I
I
don't
just
mind it.
think it's funny how you like wide receiver 3 on the Jets with their backup QB.
Yeah, and he got 10. It was the Vikings. This is what I'm talking about. This is why Chark, you just need to play Chark, who's 4.2K or 4.3K, and just take all the money.
I like DJ Chark. I played him. I followed PB into the Corey Davis last week, and it worked out.
I had Claypool who did.
Yeah,
marginally worse.
that's right. You had the Claypool leverage off of him, and I
Yeah.
was like, nope.
What
I mean,
about
they-
Westbrook Nikini?
He had like 8
No.
points, I think.
He just is he's like 8 odds, like 3 yards. Like he has to literally catch like 8 balls and somehow break one loose and score to like do anything.
I mean, he did against Denver, arguably one of the better defenses. 5 for 8, 119
You
too.
play that dude. I ain't playing.
I'm just hey, I'm giving the people what they need to hear. Just
Don't tell him that play. They
I
don't
mean,
need to
it's not
hear
a bad
him.
play. If he's the number 2 guy there behind Bobby Woods,
Oh,
we know
I guess
Bobby
I
Wood-
forgot. I forgot.
Bobby
Burks.
Trees.
and Bobby
That's too
Woods.
bad.
isn't-
Traylon's hurt.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't now. I forgot about Burks being out. Okay, it's not as bad as.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
thought.
He's the deep ball guy over there. So
Okay.
all right. What about Sky
Um,
Moore? Do we like Sky Moore?
No, I can't do it. Okay, Sky Moore is the one dude we need to quickly talk about. That dude went from just nobody even thinking about playing him last week, and then randomly out of the blue, he's like one of the highest owned guys on the whole slate for no.
Yeah.
He ended up being legit, probably the worst play on a DFS slate of the entire season. That was garbage.
He was 3,000 and he had 5 receptions for 36 yards.
But
Yeah.
the fact that he was almost 20% owned in a lot of tournaments is just ridiculous. He should have never been that. He was a good play at like 1%.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like some paid like service that recommended Sky Moore as a play. Like
I'm sure there was.
No,
that's
it
the
was just-
only thing I could think of that like there was a
No.
community agreement where I was like play Sky Moore
No,
because that's so random.
I'll tell you what it was. It was just a bunch of the shows it was mentioned on Establish the Run.
Yeah,
Then other companies also like the day of on Sunday I was listening to, they started talking about Sky Moore and I was like, what in the world is
And then I texted you about Sky Moore.
and I told you he was gonna be high owned and you're like, no way.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Honestly, I'm just excited. I'm not going to get burned by Christian Watson this week because I've been fading that for like 2 weeks too long. So I'm just excited to play when that's not an option.
Oh, his touchdown. It's how much he scored. Efficiency is
Crazy.
absolutely nuts.
You never
All right,
know
tight
with these
end.
rookies.
Yeah. All right. Tight ends.
Okay.
Mark Andrews.
Yeah, Mark
Super cheap.
Andrews, number
Yeah.
1.
TJ Hawk
Yeah.
for the
Favorite.
revenge game is going to
Favorite.
be in 98% of my lineups.
Agreed.
For
Agreed.
sure. He's going to be my highest owned tight end. Yes, definitely.
Kind of
It's-
a fun one.
Yeah, it is. It's a very fun one. I mean, revenge game, you don't get that very often against your own team. Like, he gets to play him 2 times every year until, either he gets traded or let go. So,
Yeah.
and he hasn't had the blow up game yet. And he was a great player last year. And you're expecting, he's getting the targets. Since he's been there, 10, 9, 6, 6. Like he's just missing that 100-yard game and a touchdown. So
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, Jay Jets, and TJ Hawk.
Okay, well, so you're fading the highest owned guy,
Who?
I
Greg
mean,
Dulcich.
Travis Kelsey.
Dulcich?
But-
Yeah, he'll be the highest owned tight end.
Stop calling out Denver Broncos.
No, I'm not
Sick and
saying.
tired of
so
it.
mad.
I'm
I'm
so
telling you-
tired of it.
I'm telling you, he is going to
Stop
be.
it.
He's going to be like he'll be 80% owned in double ups, and he will be in small field tournaments over 50% owned, and like the Millie Maker, I'd say around 30%.
Even more
Yeah.
reason to fade him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
so like he's a great and fading a cheap tight end is always a great fade, but he is, I will say, without Sutton in the lineup, an incredible play. Like, even though I'll probably have to click the fade button, I think he's an outrageously good play. He could legit get 10 targets trailing the game.
I know. I mean, he was
It's tough,
the
but-
tight end last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was one of the top. Him and Evan Ingram were the two guys to have.
Yeah. I mean, I had Ingram. I mean, I'm not going back to Ingram this week.
I'm gonna
Again,
have
we
a
don't know
little
that.
Ingram again.
We don't know the health of Trevor Lawrence, and if he gets hurt or if they get down early, I could see him pulling them.
I like Freiermuth as a run back with Huntley. Like
Yep.
if you're not playing.
If you're not playing Andrews,
If you're no, if you're not. Oh, you're right. You would have to double. Yeah, I guess I don't like
double
him.
tight end.
Yeah, I don't really like the
Double
double tight
safety.
end
Only double tight end like showdown slates or
or 2 game slates. Yeah.
2 game slates. Yeah.
I think there's a couple cheaper options though. I mean,
wait, hang
you're
on.
looking in the 4K
George
range.
Kittle at 40.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
that's-
Yeah.
Which-
Yeah.
What
All
is
right,
that?
glad we're all
about?
on the same page there.
This is the cheapest he's ever gonna be.
And he won't. He'll be like 5% or less.
Everyone's afraid of the new quarterback situation, but
Yeah,
here's
I'll
my
play some
here's my
Kittle.
theory as to why I think it's a good play.
Okay.
Inexperienced quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, they don't like to risk throwing outside the numbers, downfield. You have
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey behind you that's going to be running the ball a lot, so I think that his check down is going to be George Kittle. And he's going to keep it short, small, consistent throws. And I think we know, the head coach there, very smart. He puts his
Shanahan.
players in a what?
Shanahan.
Shanahan, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I was thinking of Mike McDaniel. And he's going to put his player in the position to win, let him get some cheap yards and easy routes. I think he's a smash play.
Yeah, agreed. He also, I think it might have been ETR that posted this, but he only was credited by PFF for 3 blocks last game. So he's getting used in the passing game quite a bit more than he was with Jimmy G and earlier
big
on
for
in the
him.
year.
Tampa's not good against tight ends either.
Yeah.
4,300 is criminal.
Yeah, if you want your Greg Dulcich leverage at that right around the same price point. Yeah, you got Ingram for 100 less and Kittle, George Kittle for only 900 more at 30 times less ownership.
I don't
The one
hate
thing that
Schultz either.
who?
Dalton Schultz for 100 more.
I have-
than Kittle.
I have him in my.
I don't
my
dislike that at
Yeah.
all.
Since little fun fact about Dalton Schultz, since week 8, he's scored more than 15 points every other week. And this is going to be, he had a bad week last week, so he's going to bounce back here.
There you go.
He hasn't strung together a few good games, but if we're
Consistent.
playing the trend line, this is a
Consistent.
smash spot for him.
Okay, before we move on here, the one thing with George Kittle that kind of scares me, Brock Purdy came in early in the game. It wasn't like he came in late, and he only got 3 targets. Which, I mean, they were playing the Dolphins. I mean, it's not like the Dolphins have an excellent, defense that, I mean, it's good, but it's not anything like, to write home about. And, the Bucks, they like to blitz a lot. So I guess that would leave George Kittle as not a quick option if we are going with the mindset of rookie quarterbacks checking the ball down. But then also you have McCaffrey there stealing some of his checkdowns too. I mean, but I do like George Kittle. It's going to be literally Hawk, Kittle, and Andrews because I'm thinking Huntley's going to be my highest owned quarterback at this point in time.
Changed your mind there quickly.
We keep talking about there's so many good plays with him, and I think he's more of a running back than Lamar Jackson is. Like,
Yeah, he runs a ton.
he doesn't give a shit. He's not getting the $250 million contract. All he's trying to do is continue to be a backup quarterback. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm saying that. Huntley's
No, I like it. I mean, Huntley is going, I mean, especially with them blitzing, they're gonna or just how they get after the pass, like he could be running
out of it.
and targeting Andrews.
Yeah.
The one thing I do hate though is a divisional game, and the Steelers are, they know what the Ravens like to do, and they do have a spy on the quarterback since they play Lamar Jackson a lot. So,
Pittsburgh,
and they know
I'm gonna go back and look at some previous
games.
If someone wants to do that, we can move on to building a lineup. Look at previous times that the Steelers have played Tyler Huntley, but
check it.
We could probably start building a lineup.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
All right.
So Huntley was 16 31.
Ooh, 2 interceptions, 141 yards, but he ran the ball for 72 yards.
2 touchdowns. Yeah, ran the ball.
No, he had 2 interceptions.
No, it's just 2 touchdowns.
Oh, we're at different games. It's January. Oh, that's right. Huntley played them
in the playoffs.
Yeah, January.
Oh, that was the last game of the year.
Well, I see one of the games he had 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, but he had a 72 yards rushing.
I think it'd be fun if we built a Huntley lineup.
Yeah, we can build a Huntley lineup. Is that your guys'
It's either, I mean, I know you like Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
We get a lot of good receivers though if we go cheap at running back with Huntley.
I mean, you can get a lot with Huntley.
Yeah.
Let's just see what it looks like.
Yeah. I think we'll like
Andrews, and then Deontay or Pickens. I like Deontay, but
yeah, I think I'm gonna like Deontay more than Pickens.
Yeah,
Well,
I
no,
feel
wait, hang on. I will say the press
he
conference.
didn't practice.
Press conference. Pickens was very upset that he did not get the ball last week against Atlanta.
I mean, if Deontay didn't practice,
someone like that kind of coach that rolls over, or is
no,
he the guy
not.
that's
he said he's being immature when he's doing stuff like that. But I like the competitive.
Anything he's going to bench him.
No, he's not. No, he said he likes the competitive fight. He goes, we just have to work on his maturity a little bit.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
That's a great answer.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So do you want to go? I mean, if he's not practicing on Thursday, a late add to the injury report.
It also could be seniority.
Let's go Pickens for now, and we'll keep an eye on it going into Sunday.
I mean, we could always switch it. It's only
$100. Yeah.
I think Deontay Johnson probably gets Marlon Humphreys or one of those guys.
I thought it would have been Pickens. Don't you think? Yeah, one of them it will, and we want the other guy. I just thought it was gonna be Pickens that gets him.
You might be right there. Honestly, he's a little bit bigger of a threat. Humphreys usually takes down the big guy.
Yeah, that's why I like Deontay, but we'll wait on that. All right, running back. Are we gonna go with one of the Dallas guys or?
I think yeah.
Him and Swift maybe get some pass catching abilities in there.
I think it's so weird, but Pollard definitely has he has the big play opportunity.
Yeah.
Swift or
I like Swift a lot. I think that game's going to be a high scoring game. So
I do too. I was just trying to see if you guys wanted to play DJ Chark. But I don't know if I necessarily want Swift and Chark without Goff.
No.
I would have rather played Dalvin Cook and Chark.
We'd be able to get up to Justin Jefferson, that's for sure.
What do you think about throwing Kittle in the flex?
No, not double.
Not immediately shut down.
So
well, you got a lot of cash left.
Yeah.
We want to put in a defense.
Yeah, let's get a D.
Do you want to play the Cowboys with the Pollard correlation? Like, I mean, my gosh, the Cowboys against they might actually
How's the
get
Texans' offensive line? They kind of middle of the road.
dude.
I don't know. They're
It's
one of the
not
worst
great.
football teams in the last 50 years, though.
They're so
Yeah.
bad.
They're so bad.
And
I-
the Dallas defense, I mean, okay, but here's the thing, like they're 4K, they're almost 4K, and if they do end up becoming like one of the highest owned defenses, that's never a good play on a main slate.
I don't mind Seattle this week.
Yeah, against the Panthers, that's what about, I mean, the Chiefs against Denver is a really good spot. I
What do you
actually
think about the
Ravens.
Bucks?
Ravens. Don't hate the Ravens.
but we're playing
Yeah.
Huntley in this lineup.
Right.
Yeah. Nick's right. What about the Bucks? 2,900, couple picks there.
Mm.
They got a
I
good
kinda,
D.
what about the Bills against the Jets? Mike White throws the ball so much and out of a defense. If everyone's playing the Cowboys, you pay 200 more, get the Bills, and a Mike White come down game, and the
They're
Bills
getting healthy. Tremaine Edmonds back.
Treda-
That guy
Tre'Davious
is a
White.
monster. Yeah, they're all. I think they're pretty much healthy outside of Von Miller.
And
Obviously,
that's what you
but-
want as a quarterback that's like prone to making mistakes, tossing the ball all game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't mind
and I
Bills.
think there is an off chance that it's like a lower scoring game.
I think it really will.
I do like the under in that game.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential outcomes where that Bills defense could be a great play.
All right. Where are we thinking? Wide
I
receiver.
mean, Jefferson makes this lineup so fun.
Let's see.
Should we do it?
You gotta get so cheap though.
Wait, we could pivot off of Swift, go Chark, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the correlation there. 4,300.
But then we'd have to play like Lat
flex.
Murray or at their other running back spot. We'd have to play like Deontay Foreman or Lat Murray.
If anyone, I think Foreman's.
I don't hate Foreman.
He's hurt. I don't know.
Limited in practice.
Yeah, I mean Hubbard's still in there, but like when he's healthy against
Not-
I mean Latavius Murray is the guy there. And I mean he's getting a workload.
Let's see.
I
What
just
will we get at flex with him?
We would be able to. It would be like, who is it?
Dawson Knox,
A lot.
Quez,
Yeah, no,
Jones.
there's your Marvin Jones play.
yeah. I like Marvin.
You
Against
go more. Oh no, we're playing.
So-
Patriots.
no,
Marvin.
we have Buffalo.
KJ.
I mean,
Uh,
you can move off Buffalo and go to somewhere cheaper, and then it
Yeah,
allows
but
us.
the Buffalo is going to be so low owned, and especially if everyone's paying up for Dallas, like you just pay 200 more and get like just a fraction of the ownership. Like Mike White, we've seen him just like completely collapse.
yeah, for
Get a
sure.
mini stack. It's KJ.
Oh, this one you could KJ. Oh yeah, KJ Osborne was one of my cheap guys.
Get that
And
mini.
then you get the one with Detroit, the two wide receiver threes. Or no,
Yeah.
wide receiver 2 and a wide receiver 3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not bad.
I don't like leaving 300, but
And I mean, if I think Jay Jets, we can move off Jay Jets and go to Chase, and we can.
oh yeah, we don't want Osborne and Jefferson. I forgot.
Yeah.
about
Yeah, without Kirk.
Go to
What if we go to Chase?
Chase.
that. Then we'd be able to get a decent guy in the lot.
4,900. Yeah.
Thielen. That's
I
a
do like-
perfect.
Yeah,
And we get Chark and Thielen. That's perfect.
I like that.
I actually like Thielen a lot this week.
I think
Man, talk
Denzel
about-
Ward's
about
about to
him.
ruin our day.
Talk about a
DeMar.
weird lineup. That is a weird line.
That is a weird lineup.
It's an awesome line. That's like, oh well, when you look at the Millie Maker, you're like, damn, that's what won it.
That's
Hey.
true. It's always something where you look at and you're like, I would never have picked that. I'm not upset about losing anymore.
Didn't even think twice about half.
Yeah, I mean, this is
That
we
was
have
never in the deck of cards.
we got the chase leverage direct. Like this is an amazing tournament line. Chase leverage directly off of Amon-Ra at the same price point, and then you get the other leverage off of playing Chark instead of Amon-Ra. Then we got Huntley to Andrews, low owned stack, stud tight end.
Huntley itself is going to be low owned.
Tony Pollard probably, a little bit chalky, but not super against a horrible defense. Lat Murray for the volume. Thielen we got the 2 low owned pieces in the Minnesota Detroit game, but we're still stacking it. And then we got leverage off of Cowboys D. That is how you make a Millie Maker winning lineup. And this is the week we're taking it down.
Let's go.
There it is.
Let's
PB.
go. We got him there. We got him there.
Let's go.
This is the week. That's a lineup right there. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
When we're millionaires.
We will be millionaires. That is a
From
lineup.
our yachts.
We might not upload this video. That's too good of a lineup. I don't know if we can share that one.
Just cut it right at the end.
Gonna wake up in a Bugatti.